Welcome everyone, my name is Gayle, and this video is 5 minutes focusing on our hips. So our hips are one of the biggest joints in our body and also one of the most mobile right after our shoulders. And if we sit too much, our hips tend to get stiff and tight and weak. So we're going to do just a few yoga poses, working on building range of motion and a little bit of hip strength. Just in 5 minutes. So you can do this every day or just do it as often as you can because consistency is key. So let's start on our hands and knees in tabletop. So in tabletop, you always want to have a toned core so that you're not just dropping into it or rounding too much out of it. So think of a nice long back. Now pick your left knee up and draw your knee towards your armpit and open your knee out to the side. Stretch it behind you and lift your foot up. So draw in, open out to the side, reach behind, lift up. As you draw your knee up, you're flexing your hip, then externally rotating out to the side, extending the hip behind you, and internally rotating to get your foot to come up. So squeeze in, open out, reach back, lift up. Flex, externally rotate, extend, internally rotate. One more time. Flex, externally rotate, extend, internally rotate. Draw your knee in again, open your leg out to the side, and now we're just going to do little pulses. So we're not dropping down and lifting up, we're just lifting up, 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 trying to keep my knee and my foot about the same height. And you might feel a little burn in one or both of your glutes. Good, lower it down. And now we'll just circle the hips in both directions. We'll do that same thing to the other side. So flex, drawing your knee up, externally rotate, opening your knee out to the side. Extend your knee behind you and internally rotating to lift up. So pull in, open out, reach back, lift up. Pull in, open out, reach back, lift up. One more time. Squeeze it in, open out to the side, reach back, lift up. Pull your knee in, and this time, when your knee is out to the side, just those little pulses. Very little movement. But very powerful movement. Good. Lower your knees back to the floor, and we're just going to focus on tilting our pelvis. So just little movements back and forth. Now tuck your toes, walk your hands back, and come into a squat. So your squat may be a little higher than mine. Just do the best that you can. Maybe you're, kind of hovering here. Bring your fingertips to the floor, and we're just going to lift the hips up and lower them down. So lift and lowering, kind of working into being able to be comfortable squatting, which is a really important thing to be able to do. Now let's see if we can settle into our squat. So you can always widen your feet apart a little bit. You can turn your toes out. Really, everyone's hips are shaped kind of differently, so no one's squat is really going to look exactly the same. So just remember that and kind of like listen to your body, ease your way into it. The more you practice, the easier this is going to become. So now push your feet into the floor, lift your hips up, bring your hands to your hips, extend your chest away from your hips. Come all the way up to stand. And we'll just do one more thing standing. So pull your right knee up into your chest, then open your knee out to the side, bring your knee behind you, and pull forward again. So you could have your hands on your hips or out in cactus arms or even over your head. You can also be holding onto the wall or a chair. But we're kind of practicing those same ranges of motion we did in tabletop. Not all of them, but just kind of playing around with that. Let's try the other side. So pull your knee up. Whoops. Open your knee out to the side. Bring your leg behind you and pull it forward again. So externally rotate, extend. If you lose your balance a little bit, that's okay. I'm kind of recovering from a broken ankle on this side. So last time. Good. Now just one more thing I'd like to do with you. So pull your right knee up again and just think of drawing figure eights. So you're holding your knee up in flexion of the hip, and then you're internally and externally rotating to do these figure eights. Again, you can always be holding onto a wall or onto a chair to help your balance, because we're really focusing on the hip movement. Now let's try the same thing other side. So pick your left knee up and see if you can do those figure eights. Nice and smooth movements. Good. So 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more for those hips. I hope that your hips feel nice and mobile. You could just do little hip circles, both directions, kind of celebrating. Thank you so much for joining me. I would really love to hear from you. I'd love it if you'd spread the word. I'd love it if you would come back again for more videos. And please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see. And see you again soon.